Good morning, it's Emmanuel Ezekiel again, and I've just come out from a walk, pretty cold outside, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about debt and how to eliminate debt as fast as possible and create some freedom. So I often get asked about debt and how to get out of debt as fast as possible, and I have some experience about that. One, I've actually written a book called The 6 Steps to Financial Freedom, which you might have seen already. And that book was derived from when I had a mortgage business and helping people actually getting out of debt as fast as possible and to teach people the principles of how to do that. The truth is that we don't get taught anywhere about money management and about debt. And I wanted to create a process, an easy step-by-step process, and more importantly, a formula that anybody could work out when they would be completely debt-free and financially free within a few minutes. And I actually set up a formula, it's called the snowball effect, that will show you once you fill out the basic form, within literally 10 or 15 minutes, you will know to the day when you'll be financially free. How does the snowball effect work? Well, how it works in principle is you have to start freeing up some of your money already that's tied up in things that you spend already to use that money to start paying down the debt that you've created. First thing I'm always confronted with when it comes to helping people trying to eliminate their debt is saying they can't make any savings anywhere on their normal monthly expenditure. So that's always the challenge that I'm actually given, and it's very rare that I can't find a way to actually reduce their debt or increase some of their cash flow. So I'm going to give you some tips starting now of where the areas, or what are the areas that I look for first and foremost. So the first thing we look at is we look at your monthly expenditure, and we start with utilities. We look at your gas, we look at your electricity, are the two main areas that we actually look at. And the reason why I look at those first and foremost is that the average household in the UK spends between £100 to £150 a month on their utilities. So if you can make a saving of between 10 and 30%, which you can, by consistently looking and comparing who your actually provider is and what the rates are charging you, if you're spending £100 a month on your gas and electricity, a 20 to 30% saving is a saving of £20 to £30. That might not seem a lot right now, but if you follow this all the way through, you'll actually get to the end, you'll see how this will actually create what I call the snowball effect. The next area of expenditure that people often think is a necessity is things like Sky and the package they have on Sky, their broadband and their mobile phones. And so the average household spends around about £100 a month on different packages. So first and foremost, some things like Sky, Virgin or similar TV package. Then you've got things like broadband, which might be separate, either with the same provider or a different provider. And then third, again, mobile phones, whether it be to do just their mobile phone with your single family, your partner and your children. So those areas are going to be at least £100 a month. And again, by actually looking and comparing and saving, you can easily save 20 to 30%. We've already covered utilities. If you save 20 to 30% on utilities, you save another 20 to 30% on your broadband, your Sky package or TV package and your mobile phone. That's already 20 to £60 you're saving already, and we haven't even got started yet. So the third area for lots of people are either their rent or their mortgage. So I'm going to cover specifically mortgages right now because that's part of your debt. A rent isn't debt, but a mortgage is. So if I told you on a £150,000 mortgage, if you just saved 1% on the mortgage interest rate, it's going to save you over £80 a month. That's a huge amount of money. If you add that to the utilities that we've just saved, plus your other expenditure like your mobile, your Sky and your broadband, we're now already up to around about £140 a month in savings. And again, we still haven't quite started. The next area of people's expenditure, which they don't always realise, is loans. Loans comes in many different ways. A car loan, a bank loan, a business loan, a student loan that you still might be paying. And again, if we can actually make a small saving by actually changing who that's going to be from, that's going to save you another 20 to £50 a month minimum on your monthly expenditure. So now we come to another area that I often talk about, and something that I do on a regular basis is shopping. Shopping for food. on a regular and consistent basis. So again, lots of people say they can't save money on their shopping. And whilst that might be a thing that you think is not possible, again, from my experience, if you actually shop in different places and different locations, you can actually save between 20 and 50% of your normal weekly or monthly shopping. So let me give you an idea how all supermarkets work. They have what I call prime real estate, they have secondary real estate, and then they have offbeat real estate. So let me tell you how that works. So when you go to the supermarket, and while you're walking around, anything at eye level is prime real estate, and that's where they actually charge you the most expensive all of their products, all their services, all their produce. So then you look at the area that's above eye level, things that you have to reach for, that you have to put your hand up to actually grab. Those things are typically 20 to 25% cheaper than prime real estate. So just if you change your direction of gaze from eye level to above eye level and just reach slightly, you're going to save 20 to 25% on your normal weekly shopping. Again, that might be produce that's not branded names in quite the same way, or it just might be an area that they actually don't get the same kind of support from the producer of those products. Then you have what I call bottom real estate, the least desirable real estate, and that's where you actually have to bend down. We actually have to start moving your body, and typically those products are between 40 and 60% cheaper than the prime real estate. So just by actually turning your gaze downwards, bending your knees, grabbing down, you're going to save what I call unbranded produce. Typically those ones are supermarket own brand. They're made normally by the same people that are producing everything at eye level, but just between 20 to 60% cheaper. So that's a huge amount of saving just in your normal shopping. So if you're shopping and you're spending, again, £100 a week on your shopping, which is £400 a month, and you can save 40% on your shopping, that's £160 saving just in that area alone. So just as a recap, if you look at the topics we just talked about, one is your utilities, the things like your gas, electricity in your home. You look at your broadband, your Sky, your mobile phones. You then look at your mortgage. You then look at other loans like car loans, bank loans, student loans, and then you look at your shopping. You can see very quickly how you can actually make significant savings that will start what I call this snowball effect. So the snowball effect is where you take these savings, and instead of what most people do when they actually make a saving, they then start spending that money. We take that saving and we start adding it to your debt. Now in my book it explains it in a lot more detail, but the basic principle is you take these savings and you pay them off your existing debt to actually accelerate and pay those debts off as quickly as possible. I'm just going to talk about one specific area now, which is your mortgage, which is probably your biggest cost. And if you were able to make a 10% saving on your normal expenditure, now to give you an idea, the average household income in the UK take-home pay is around about £2,000. So if you can save £200 on that normal monthly income to use as a snowball effect, and you pay that off into your mortgage, that will save you 7.2 years off a normal £150,000 mortgage. Now, it might not sound a lot, £200, and it might not seem a huge amount of time, 7.2 years, but let me put it into perspective for you. That £200 a month saving over 7.2 years, which is 86 months, is over £61,000. £61,000 that you can have in your pocket for you to start using and spending or investing to make your future better. And more importantly, 7.2 years. So if your mortgage was going to finish when you were 65, it's going to finish now when you're just before 58. If you're younger, it's going to finish off even sooner. So you'll have more time and a younger age to start enjoying that money to spend on yourself or to invest in yourself. If there's other bits of information you'd like to know or questions you'd like to ask about the snowball effect, about debt, how to accelerate it, where you need to go to look to find for cheaper loans, cheaper mortgages, Please put some comments at the bottom. I will endeavour to answer all the questions you actually raised to do with this area. This is an area that I love. The reason why I love it is because I can help so many people so quickly. I hate debt, I hate people in debt, and I hate the way society creates this debt for us to do with our mortgages, to do with our car loans, to do with holidays, things that we have to think that we need to spend money on but which you don't need to, rather than creating freedom through being debt-free. So I really hope you've liked this video. I've certainly enjoyed making this video. I think that hopefully that's come through. If you like it, please press like, share so other people can benefit from actually becoming debt-free. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I hope you've learned something. Are you going to use it? We'll see.